Sure, sure. Let me, step back and look at, throw some data first, because we need to have evidence-based policy making. So if you look at the last 10 years, the average revenue per user, which the industry calls as ARPU, has gone up by 1.24 times, which is good. It's gone up in 10 years from 1 rupee, it has become 1.25 rupees or whatever the case may be. But if you look at the data consumption, it has gone up by 288 times.
Wow.
So per user, the data consumption in the last 10 years has gone up by 288 times, while they are paying only 1.24 times more. Now, clearly the point is that whoever is providing that service, is it sustainable? Is it possible that you can provide 288 times more data while your revenue is only 1.25 times more? Also, in the last 5-6 years, the cost of data has stagnated at about 10 rupees per GB. Now, we as common Indians take pride in that we are the cheapest in the world in terms of data, and that's something to be proud of. We should be proud of it, that we are providing accessibility and access to the internet to the lowest common denominator and so on. But when you flip it and you look at it from an industry perspective, that's where the challenge starts happening. Now, before Vodafone started coming back and before BSNL started making the moves which happened in the last 1 or 2 months, we were basically having two operators in telecom, and I would call it 2.5 because Vodafone was still limping at that time. I really hope Vodafone comes back. I really hope BSNL and MTNL come back and make a strong show. But if there are only two players left, and out of which another one, God forbid, goes down because of financial issues, because all the others went down because of financial issues, then that's a very precarious situation. Because telecom is a strategic backbone of the country. The fact that we are talking right now, we connected, the fact that your viewers are watching us, is everything happening over the network, right? Most of your viewers are digital. So if any of the telecom operators goes down, then we are in a very precarious situation. We are also creating a private sector monopoly, which is very dangerous for the country. And if you look at, again, going back to the statistics, if you're not able to get enough revenues from the end user while the consumption is going up, it is very challenging for them to survive financially. So now if you take this discussion forward in terms of therefore what needs to be done, the point is, why is there so much of data consumption happening, right? What changed in the last 10 years? Now, what really changed is not that people are doing artificial intelligence, therefore they're consuming data. It's not that they're doing a protein folding experimentation and therefore there's a lot of compute and data being needed. What people are really doing is watching videos, right? Largely it's watching videos on YouTube, on various other channels and platforms and so on and so forth. Now, when that happens, there is a lot of data being pumped in by a few platforms, right? And these are typically called the large traffic generators, LTCG, large traffic content generators. They dump a lot of data and traffic into the network, which is where the network starts scrambling to scale up so that this traffic can be maintained. However, these platforms are getting money when they're dumping data free of cost into these networks. They are getting revenues from the end user.
Right.
But is that revenue going into any part of it going to the telecom operators? Unfortunately, the answer is no. So the ones who are actually providing the plumbing, the networks, the actual solutions, infrastructure, they're getting nothing out of it.
Oh.
And that's really where the problem is. Now, if you go back to the good old days when you used to have a cable operator with a fat Cat5 cable coming into your house, and you would switch channels and watch a few channels on it, the channels would actually pay to the cable operator for carrying the channels. That model is now gone in the internet age, and the internet telecom network is not getting any part of the revenue that's being earned, but they are bearing the brunt of trying to provide the connectivity.